It's like you can't even take your roommate's bra from her bedroom, put it on downstairs, and show it to your neighbor without somebody getting all angry about it. Billy.
Who's gonna stop the episode? Should we still be just doing general chit chat, or do you want to get into the meat of the matter? I'm good for.
I will say,
I feel pretty loose.
I feel like sitting here so casually with a mug, just like stroking a cat, I look like I should be telling you my plan for world domination.
Well, you have been this afternoon, in fact.
Well, I feel like that little joke is probably a pretty good segue into describing the first episode, where I feel like we just see the full realization of cheeky Michael. Michael Mancini. I mean, the Mancini and the Mirror Man. He really... I'm very excited about this episode. I think so much gets planted. So many seeds get planted.
No, that's beautiful. By the tone and content, you of course know this is Melrose Madness. Welcome, Melrose Maniacs. I am Wayne, and with me, as always, is the just wonderful Lisa. I'm just jazzed every time we get to kick around a deep dive into Melrose Place. And yes, I always like to start off with whatever's pulling you in, and so this is the Mancini origins we're seeing ongoing.
Yes, I can't remember who exactly pointed it out. I think maybe it was you, that Michael, we see this very nebbish little doctor who is, doesn't have a ton of agency. Certain episodes, we only see him jogging with Jane to deliver some exposition real quick and leave, pick up a rent check.
Yeah, God bless him.
But now I don't even mind that this jumps ahead, because I feel like it's just such an impactful moment that encapsulates the entire episode, the entire Jane-Michael dynamic. When he starts to talk to Jane and explain that Dr. Shaw is a woman, her first reaction is, should I be jealous? He smirks and says, probably, takes a pregnant pause and says, honey, and they keep walking.
Her,
and then to know that this is, this doesn't give anything away, but you guys, Kimberly's face is the face that launches 1,000 ships. 1,000 exploding boats in the marina.
She is an explosive talent. Marcia Cross is, she just glistens. She jumps off the screen.
She's smart. Her character's very smart, too, I think.
We know she's wonderful. The energies, you said, the chemistry just clicks in. They seem like a couple when we see them. So, talking about that is not. That's what people see this, and if they know the format, they know what's coming, certainly. But for now, we get but this gets into the retcon thing, the thing of erasing some element of the past, and I being a nerd otherwise probably keeps me here in this space of being like, exactly that he was the neurotic doctor. Mm-hmm. Literally sported a shirt that said neurotic state, which kind of humor. I'm a t-shirt humor guy up to a certain point. And the first we see Kimberly is talking about how he is Dr. Cool, the man of steel, the man of stone, nothing unflappable, has no home life, and it's like that was a quick one. That was a quick turn.
He drops it so fast.
I don't know if that's I don't know if that's it's. I'm talking about what stuck with me, but I don't know if it's. Do you have anything off of that?
Two things. The first thing is you said something that I want to explore further. You said, I'm a t-shirt humor guy, ... up until a certain point, drifted off. Where's the line? I will, to me, I liked it because it felt like a little bit of a Freudian slip of there's something you have in mind about t-shirt humor that's like too far.
The I would do anything for love, but I won't do that of it all. It's just probably, I think that jokes that announce themselves as such, unless you've then leapt over that and you're laughing about how you've announced a joke on a shirt, like it's.
I have something that might pertain to this that I think you'll appreciate
I want to hear
in
about
this
it,
vein.
man, completely.
Because one time I was hiking Runyon Canyon, and I don't want to be rude, but my first instinct was this woman seemed kind of unremarkable. But her t-shirt said, "I'm kind of a big deal." So I had to do a full reversal on my opinion of the situation.
In that moment.
I'm like, look at me jumping to conclusions. Little do I know, you shouldn't judge a book by the first cover, but if the cover is premeditated, it's probably...
Yeah, they named the book for a reason.
And the second thing I'm going to say is, I wonder if you feel this way with your neurotic doctor observation about Michael. I loved Northern Exposure, and I feel like that kind of Joel, I can't remember his last name, but like this sort of fish out of water kind of, because he was from New York, and Michael's definitely, giving us like Jersey New York energy, even though he's not a photographer in a black tank top. He's giving you that East Coast doctor energy. Yeah, he's from the Northeast area.
Yeah, he's impatient.
He's got that decidedly non-West Coast. Like, to me, I'm not from the East Coast, so I say that I am because Savannah's on the water.
Literally.
But like everyone goes, no, East Coast is something else. Yeah. So like anybody from those accent, I can't do that accent
I'm from
at all.
there.
You're from there.
I'm from that place, yes.
And so Michael, to me, I think they were trying that kind of Joel character at first, and then it didn't work, and so he gives up on doctoring pretty quickly.
It's really. We should mark the point at which we entirely lose the actual concerns of the job, more so than how it's going to be a lot about politics in the future. Again, no deep spoilers. Speaking of which, though, I think that we are going to extend the conversation a bonus episode. I just want to mention that now, to just like throw a plug in out of nowhere.
Well, this is an interesting episode because if you are familiar with the series, then there's some massive plot cul-de-sacs, shall we call them, that the show went down, did not continue to build, and then just kind of left it as this vestigial tale. There's there's filmic evidence of something that's plays out differently in the future.
And I guess what I would say, and there'll be more to say, but like they weirdly lock themselves in with certain choices of how they characterize people. Like, if you were to pay attention to continuity, and we've had the conversation about continuity before, where it's like an evolving and like not as much of things certainly back then as now, in part because of the format that like they weren't thinking about people rewatching this in the future.
Or
they just need to sell soap that night.
Exactly. We gotta get this soap out of here.
Yeah,
a lot of dirty people. No, but you're absolutely right, because you know what? Honestly, this isn't a spoiler because everyone knows that Sydney is a character on the show, and she's Jane's sister. But in this episode, they explicitly say that she doesn't have a sister.
Her only daughter, and it's like, but that's what. Yeah, I was talking about.
And so
that.
You're like,
why
there
lock
was
yourself
no
in?
reason. Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't that poignant. They don't reference
any of Michael's siblings. There's no so I do agree with
Mama,
you.
Papa Mancini's thrown around, but nothing that really like.
Well, here's my theory now. Like, Jane's so obnoxious that they were like, well, hey, let's go with an only child stereotype, because that
might make her more interesting than she is somehow. Yeah,
they're like, we got to think of something. Because Jane, the minute Kimberly comes on the scene, I'm just like, I get it. She's so charismatic.
Yeah, no,
she's so smart and fun.
There's a gravity to her charisma that pulls the show along with it.
Candles and chili fries.
Yeah, it ain't
gonna compete with.
No. How you're gonna let him go back to the farm after he's done a few rounds with Dr. Shaw? I mean,
I don't know. And meanwhile,
so a wonderful redhead. That might be something that's coded that we can track as well. But like, Sorry, I might cut you off on something.
I love a good sassy redhead. I was just reminded that, I got, hello. Hi, no, what? I do like a sassy, okay, producer Chris is a bit of a sassy redhead. And he was literally flirting at me off camera, acknowledging how much I like a sassy redhead. But it's also a drink that you make.
Thanks for dropping in, man. It's all good. I love it. Yeah. There's
I do too.
Producer Ilana has had red hair when I met her, and she embodies many of the wonderful things that people say about redheaded women. I don't know. So
sassy
I made
redheads behind the scenes are, the key to our success, is what we're telling you guys.
They are the engine that makes this muscle car of a podcast go.
But behind every podcaster sitting on a couch,
sassy
sassy redheads helping make it happen.
Yeah. So there's a signature cocktail involved with that, but yeah,
the thing I was gonna say was
I'd like that.
I got caught up in the Jane and Michael story eclipsing other storylines, just like Matt was eclipsed with their life,
yes.
rightfully having it pointed out to me that this man's
what a
completely unexpected day gets completely derailed.
I don't know if I wouldn't even call it an issues episode. It's just a thing that happens. Of course, viewers will know that Jane has a child, developing fetus that is not developing, it's dead, and this episode involves her having a medically necessary abortion and people's feelings about that.
It's also necessary, not just medically, but for the plot, because they really did not want these two raising this child together.
You have made the point.
A baby in the complex.
Beautifully. I mean, there's the genre trope of it all, which is kind of new to me. Like, at some point we had the conversation where I was like, but like, a miscarriage is like losing a prospective child is like such a harrowing thing. Why would they just throw it around? It's like, oh no, they just do, because it's like pregnancies are dramatic, but kids aren't good for shows, so like you do the math, and it's like great. It's the way that a lot of sci-fi, quite a few sci-fi shows have a trope of a baby shows up and is magically whisked away to another dimension where time works differently and comes back out like an 18-year-old. So it's like, can
you imagine if they did that on Melrose Place? All these 18-year-olds just wandering into the complex demanding to have conversations with their parents. Jake's got like just a mountain of angry kids wanting answers.
The angry blondes, yes. Yeah.
God, I would, okay. I mean, I throw a lot of crazy ideas out there.
Yeah.
But if we ever write like a Melrose Place space voyaging version,
when the time is right for this idea,
I mean, basically the note behind the note, or the question behind the question, is how can I shoehorn this literary device that you've presented where people just age at random times into Melrose Place?
No, it's definitely, but it
could there be a phone booth that they just walk into and they come out?
With the way, devoid of worry of spoilers, with the way that people fuck around with each other on this show,
everyone should have children.
Unfortunately,
together.
that would also immediately lead to concerns of incest. If an 18-year-old child of Amanda and Jake, for instance, just popped into the scene, either Amanda or Jake's gonna try and get with that child, but who's not a child anymore, technically.
Listen, that is exactly correct. You have hit the nail on the head of why no one's allowed to actually have a baby. Like, they will not let a character really have a baby. The only person who gets to have a baby is... Oh, wait, sorry. But, like, even
that doesn't...
But, like, now that I think about it, because we've lived through some crazy Melrose Place pregnancies, some that, resulted in babies and some that didn't. And, like, I think you're absolutely right. I think there's something about the place of Melrose that they are not allowed to procreate because they would immediately
devour their own sexually. And yeah. Let's talk about that in the spoilers, because that's a rabbit hole I'm willing to go down.
Oh my gosh! Listen,
in the spoiler section.
I will leave it at Rosebud.
Yeah, no, it
but
is.
Wow, I like what we're Shakespearean levels of
we're getting into stuff,
meaning that we're imbuing upon this television show.
Silly televisual, lovely, engrossing.
It's my life.
Yeah, it's fun visiting there.
Oh, but again, Matt, once again, I completely lost his point of view. Oh, good Lord.
Yes, producer Ilana and I call it Matt's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, which involves him, because Matt is the nice guy, giving Jane a ride to the hospital for an ultrasound.
He's supposed to drop her off.
There's a handoff plan to Michael. Not to totally rehash plot, just to get us to the point of like, blah, 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 med student issues. He's got to go to surgery. Matt has gone from dropping Jane off at the hospital to accompanying her to an ultrasound that ends about the worst way it can.
He has to then comfort her on the loss of her child. This is his neighbor.
And he has these outs, like Michael shows up, like that's a natural time for a handoff. Like, this is I love you guys. This is a tough moment. This is a tough moment. I'm just going to leave you two together to console each other.
Acceptable.
Let me know what I can do back home. No, he's like pulled right through. He's seated during the procedure. No. Right? Isn't that it?
I feel like
he's just, I don't mean to, yeah.
No, like, I don't even know that they showed this, but in my mind, he's allowed himself to get roped into suiting up, sitting in observation. He's just like, I was supposed to be in WeHo, just doing drag brunch, and now I'm stuck here. Oh, this is such a nightmare. These two are going to get divorced. I know they're not going to stay together.
We were roundly convinced that Matt had other plans, that he was dressed for something fun, maybe poolside.
He had shorts on. I mean, he was going to have a good time.
He was going to have a good time. This is the era where we can imagine Matt possibly having a good time off camera during the week. It's all orphans, but we do know there was the one party that he offered to Alison to go to once.
Oh my God, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
I always, with Matt, you just always tack the little things on. What a day for him.
What a day for Matt. And yeah, Matt and Rhonda really they were tasked with all the emotional labor for the show. And, also, I think it's very poetic that Matt and Rhonda do end up being the people helping with this lost dog situation.
Issue.
When Sandy's response to her neighbor, finding out her neighbor lost their baby, is to go to the other neighbor, Jake, and say, let's get these guys a dog, a puppy.
She even talks to it sort of where she's like, I know it's not a replacement, but I knew someone wanted to help. But it's like, no, let's just say it's bad practice to give pets as a gift.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had a friend who had a miscarriage, and I showed up with a puppy, and she was like, thanks for making that decision for me. I really wish you would just do that with everything.
Oh my God.
This is a great...
So the dog becomes then part of the plot for the thing. And
as much as they try
it is trying to escape from them.
It's not that it's trying to escape. They are going, hey, the dog's going, message received, because they keep letting it loose.
This as well, yeah.
Away. I have to tell you, this dog situation is a really good example of consent, because literally consent has everything to do with boundaries. And so it's these people did not consent to taking on the responsibility of a dog. Also,
it's bad form to gift someone a responsibility like that. I think we've talked about this, I think, in many forms.
It's crazy, yeah. It's like, here, you take care of this. I just thought that was absolutely insane. Like, I can't, if my neighbor just gave me a dog. Like, also, after someone lost their baby, that's so insane. It's so weird.
It's such a strange thing, but it becomes...
What if she brought a parrot? I was going to get you a dog, but part of the joy of being a parent is their first word. And so I just thought to myself, hey, one day I taught it. Listen. Mama, mama. I mean, like, that's like slightly more disturbing to me than like, I know it's not going to replace the child you two humans conceived, but
yeah,
a monkey. She shows up with a monkey.
It's a helper monkey.
It's a helper.
It's not
monkey.
really a responsibility. It's an extra set of hands.
You guys can exactly. It's a.
Learned from Jake.
It has a little vest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can get in the front of the line at bars.
Yeah. I mean,
that's definitely the rule with the helper monkey.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd watch that spinoff. Jane and Michael with the helper monkey.
So we talked about that.
What was that?
MJ and the monkey.
MJ and the monkey. What?
Michael Jane.
Michael Jane and the monkey.
BJ and the Bear was an actual show too.
Oh gosh,
but
that's
it wasn't
right.
Anyways.
But yeah, so the whole dog thing was crazy. When Sandy to demonstrate that the dog's not listening to her, goes sit. It doesn't sit, so she takes.
Maybe this will help.
Maybe this will help. I take the leash off. Says sit. The dog runs up. Oh wait! Also,
it does the opposite of sit, pretty much, right? Is there what's less sitting than running away?
It sounded like it thought that sit was like the starter pistol. Also, I just remembered that producer Chris pointed out when the giant bag of dog food for this dog that is 7 to 9 pounds, are we guessing? So this tiny little dog, and then Jake says it takes two cups
twice a day.
So, that's gonna kill that dog. There's so much food. 2 cups. 1 cup's a lot. I was just cracking up because, like, again, the concept of how creatures eat.
It has been transferred. All of the other weird, interesting dishes and very meaningful omelets lead you to a dog being just its health compromised by overfeeding if instructions are followed.
Well, it also, I think there's a lot of just like general guesstimating where it's kind of like Lucille Bluth, who's like, what could a banana possibly cost? $7? Like, what could a dog possibly eat? 2 cups of food every day and once a day.
Who knows? Better do double.
I feel like that's Jake going, hey, it's a boy dog, so it needs a lot of food.
I think
this dog's not a little bitch. Exactly. He's like, I just want this dog's, no dog of mine's gonna eat the amount it's supposed to eat. Smash.
It kind of migrated into your Alison at the end there.
All of it. It's all the same person to me. Speaking of Jake,
this is existential.
I feel like a lot of this episode was the weird sort of subtext of the Jake, Billy, Alison storyline that isn't like, I mean, that they didn't intentionally do. I feel like the guys are like very into showing their nipples and they don't want to feel self-conscious about it. So they keep yelling at Alison, like, stop being so precious with your and like really at one point, Billy comes out of his bedroom with no shirt on, the top button of his jeans. Like, Jake are in the tiniest little outfits. And I really feel like they think that Alison's slut-shaming them.
For being so.
And they just are like, everybody, like, I get the energy from them. It's like those girls who are like, listen, I don't care what you're doing. Like, why do you care what I'm doing? And I feel like their energy was very like, listen, we can wear our little shorts, and then Alison steals Jake's shorts. Which producer Ilana called the Sisterhood of the Traveling Jorts, which is like, it really does look like everyone's stealing everyone's shorts.
There's a deeper plot behind the siblinghood or sisterhood of the Traveling Jorts. I mean, so speaking of boundaries, Sandy, Michael and Jane, here we have Billy just angry at the concept of boundaries.
He's a mess.
And the key moment, you don't get to the nipples being even so relevant to the episode than going through this weird, creepy moment of Jake and Billy palling around.
Oh, they're hilarious.
And doing a bit with Alison's bra. And it's, you know...
I do feel like they'd never seen a bra before. Like, that's the kind of thing when you have
we know Jake fucks.
I mean,
for sure.
He's
got a 10:30 deadline, basically, depending on what time the lady's in the door.
But I also could see Jake being the kind of guy being like, "You need to get naked I don't need to know how the sausage is made. But when I get back in this room, all I know is that stuff needs to be gone. And then he doesn't even know that panties exist. Like, he's so lazy that he's like, we're going to have sex. Be there. Be naked. I'll be, repairing my bike to the last possible second. What's a bra?
You'll find me right by the pool.
Smelling
Don't
like
be
gasoline.
wearing nothing underneath.
Don't be wearing nothing. But
yes.
I mean, they really did act like neither one of these men had ever seen a bra in their lives. They were so whimsical about it.
Yeah, it was juvenile, and there's a whole tangent where like the way they start horseplaying with each other in a basement room. That, like, on this one hand, wonderfully homoerotic, but on the other hand, like, juvenile in a way that made me uncomfortable or something, and reminded me then of Tommy Wiseau's The Room. I don't know if that's fun to talk about or not, but, like, I feel like that energy of what happened with them, with the bra in the basement, is so, was lifted into that movie and all those awkward, like, green screen, rooftop, football toss, weird shit, and there's horseplay. I think in that film. Yes.
Well, because to me,
yeah,
it's how like we all agree what activities straight guys do behind closed doors, right? Like everybody's just like tossing a football or slightly roughhousing in the laundry room. It's like I think that they're
norms,
no one wants it like because here's the scene
I like it.
I'd watch. Jake and Billy goofing around in the laundry room. Oh, look at Alison's bra. I feel powerful. And then and just going like, and then it does like I would watch the episodes. That's the Sisterhood of the Traveling Lacy Bra, where it's almost as if Billy's like, what? Like it carries as much weight when I'm topless as when you are, and you just see these men just going, how can I harness the power of my nipples the way that Alison has? They're like, I just feel like there were so many. They're kind of doing that.
It goes real deep. It goes real deep because, and to me, the least deep part is the angle that this is all about her mom having had breast cancer during Alison's childhood.
Which, by the way, well played, girl. Like, you shut his ass up so
I guess that was
that.
a trump card in that interaction that was so shitty because Billy's a monster in this episode. He litters in his own house. I'm going to skip ahead, and I'm going to tell you that this guy litters in his own motherfucking house, tells the other guy, leave it, subtext, as producer Chris said, make her pick it up. Let her pick it up.
I will live like an animal before I kowtow to this lady. And here's what I love about Alison.
Her needs to have privacy.
She knows. Here's the thing.
I'm speechless, please.
That to Alison is the worst thinking. First of all, just within the space of the episode, one thing that I have to say is that this woman's ability to passively aggressively just devastate people. And here's the thing, she is totally justified in this episode. To me,
so you're describing the tools that like generally are used for ill, but in this case justified because Billy was such a shit.
It happened to be justified this time because, as we know, this woman can easily get drunk with this power to make people feel bad. But it's really funny to watch these early phases of like, I really do forget how freaking obnoxious Billy is. I mean, he lies all the time. He's literally ganging up on Alison with a neighbor guy. Like, he's in the laundry room going, hey, check this out. This dumb bitch is gonna I've got boobies. And then, like, literally, she's like, I just asked you to get the laundry.
This is terrible.
Yeah,
she didn't ask anything with the laundry. That's the whole thing. It was
she didn't ask. No.
He said. So we can back up and talk about this whole weird bet that is moot immediately.
Oh yeah, the bet.
Because it starts because Billy's a goddamn slob and she hates it, and it was about cleaning up his act or some shit for a week, and at the end of the week, if he fails, he buys her dinner, and if he succeeds, she buys him dinner, which is like such a weird way to ask a guy on a date.
But also, she's like, but no matter what, I'm getting either a clean house or a dinner. She's pretty smart, I gotta say.
There's a win-win to that. So there's a calculation well done.
Which is also why the like littering is so stupid.
I'm
gonna have to buy her dinner. I don't care.
But that's mooted by the fact that Billy's interpretation of like don't be a slob is like, I'm gonna now overdo it. I am now going to exceed the bounds of just exceed any bounds.
Do you want Billy doing your laundry?
And just casually.
I don't want him touching anything that's touched my body.
She was in the shower and he just took her laundry. That's why she had to go running down.
I didn't
He just
catch
yelled
that part,
it at her.
But like, that's why when she drops the mom cancer thing, I'm like, sit in that, friend, because you are such a little brat. Because first of all, she shouldn't even need to have that to make you feel like crap. But oh my gosh, the way that he puts his back to her when he's talking, you're like, I don't want to look at your boobies by accident.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh my God, are you in the Senate? Because that's exactly what that feels like. Mike Pence,
Everybody's so PC these days, or
everyone's so PC
God
these
doesn't
days.
want me to be alone with a woman.
You
She's
can't
not my
even.
wife.
It's like you can't even take your roommate's bra from her bedroom, put it on downstairs, and show it to your neighbor without somebody getting all angry about it. Billy. Oh, but also the other
Sounds
thing
reasonable, Billy. Like, what's the?
Also, by the way, when you're talking about him being a slob, at one point she's like picking up pieces of paper where he's like written something, and it's like,
that's my work.
That's my work. Oh, really? It's like a playpen magazine. All these weird little. His writing, he can't write.
So the weird thing is, there's a legitimacy to that possible that is not happening here. Like, if playpen is not a real thing, right? It's just it's like it's
no
a
idea.
it's a bogoization of Playboy.
No, I believe it isn't. Yeah.
Okay, tell me, producer Chris, is it at all in the style of Playboy? Because if that had, all I'm saying is if that had been a Playboy, like for writers getting
I believe it's like
getting your writing into Playboy would be a thing.
It's not
But no.
like
It's
I believe it's
closer.
like Playboy, and it's somewhere between Penthouse and those. Like, you know, I
It's
get
not.
some
It's like
stuff.
full on
It
nasty.
gets a little nasty.
Yeah.
he's not submitting.
No, he's not.
articles.
No, I just it's funny because like I don't even
Wait,
think that's what
Wait a
he.
minute. I'm imagining that now. Okay, I take it back.
No, go.
He's submitting sexy stories. He's like, "Dear Playpen, my neighbor's baby died, and then we threw her a party, and like all these like sexy tales of Melrose Place, and they're just like, oh my God, these are really depressing."
I knew from the moment she got into the back seat of my cab that she would be mine.
That I would kidnap her.
Yeah. So, anyways, yes, he's nasty. He's a slob. His work papers include pornography.
I mean, that wasn't even. I don't even believe that those were his. I think they were just like lists of like his favorite cereals, little scraps of paper. He's such a little liar. Yeah, he was a little brat this whole episode. You never see him work.
His idea of how apologies work is like wondrous. Well, especially when set against someone like Alison, who will like death by a thousand cuts of grief.
Ooh.
Is that he thinks that fuck it. I wrote this down because this is. I don't want to always be like delivering material or anything like that, but like I'm going to do it. Yeah. Once he apologizes to someone, the apology must be accepted immediately, and the subject never raised again, no matter how perfunctory his apology or how quickly he pivots to make an excuse.
Yeah,
that is the essence of Billy and apologies.
You know a lot of Billies, I think. I know some Billies. I know some Billy goats.
I'm amazed he hasn't whipped out a literal "I'm sorry that you were offended."
We're getting there. The thing that's
I'm offended.
The thing is, that's why Alison is the perfect foil, because like no one can nag you literally to death like this lady can. Like I am just like you. It reminds me of like, you know, those animals that are like they're like, or bugs that manage to disable bugs that are like exponentially larger than them, and then they slowly use this like acid to just eat and eat and eat. That's Alison. Ooh, she's got like this low weak acid, and she'll just like
maniacs
chew. Yeah.
Tell us examples of that in nature, like the exact thing. Producer Chris?
Praying mantis.
Okay, great.
They
Oh,
eat
yeah.
birds.
Sorry.
They dissolve.
Is praying mantis the one where the female
Eats the male after they.
Yeah, that one I know
praying
about.
Mantison.
Just bites the head off
Yeah, right after.
once coitus is complete.
Oh, I just slowly but surely. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah,
Respect.
I don't know. Weirdly, I feel like we've been through a lot. What else is of interest? There's more to say in the bonus, but like, we can go through some regular departments and then
Sounds
say
good
like
to
that's
me. I mean,
yeah.
you know what? I feel like this was one of those episodes where they were firing on all cylinders, on all storylines, and like it's like, you guys, the rubber's hitting the road here. Like we are getting
We're
into
finding
some
a
fun.
format.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm such good times.
So I meant to connect the dots that also this weird story about and not that weird and like. I'm not making light of breast cancer. Obviously, it's more that the show can never handle anything serious.
No.
And that's a way that the room is. Tommy Wiseau's The Room is that he would has this weird mom's got breast cancer plot line. So I just wanted to not miss that as if we were being silly.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Do you mean that like you imagine that when Alison's mom came home that day, she came in, immediately plopped down in a beanbag and said, "Well, the doctor said the test results are in. I definitely have breast cancer." Because
I'm so glad that you can deliver that so beautifully.
I want
That was
to
wonderful.
believe that's exactly how that happened. Because remember, she was in the 3rd grade. She'd come home from school. I'm going to extrapolate the actual dialogue.
This is now, yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm with you.
Allison origins.
Shared universe.
Fashion matters.
Oh, God.
I think we got through the jorts. That was the thing, and just
The jorts
Jake's
were wild.
always for a beautiful man, always looking goofy on laundry day. Sandy's weird denim bra. Anything fun there?
I actually thought Sandy looked really cute in that. I thought that was like a
She
great.
pulled it off.
You know what? When I saw that outfit, that was the thing that made me say, I feel like she could be on Vanderpump Rules right now.
Right.
With
yes.
her look, she's like killing it.
So that was good. That weird like Zubaz coat. The weird like.
Billy,
Chris, do you have anything to call or say about that? I just feel like
it's like a windbreaker.
It's really of its era.
It looked kind of like one of those like O'Neill kind of surfy ones with like.
It's
they
like
put,
a soccer
skeleton,
windbreaker?
like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Do soccer guys wear those? Was
Yeah.
that like a soccer thing?
Yeah, they would
Which would make
probably.
sense.
It would.
And it was very of the moment.
Yeah.
Like when you see that jacket, yeah, it's like very.
Yeah.
I loved it actually.
That hat too.
Oh yeah, I would wear everything from Billy's closet. I mean, we know
And
this.
Rocket though. is the
Billy's
thing.
closet.
That's the
That's
thing.
my clothing line. I'll just like do all of his outfits.
Did you talk about this was the first time you saw the beach?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna get more to that in the,
Sorry.
but no. Let's mark it that like factually the beach becomes like a revolving center of gravity.
it really does.
In Melrose Place in the future, and the thing with the dog and losing the dog and finding the dog and giving the dog back away, all happening on the beach, harkens of future major drama going at a beach house with terrible security. Just
Oh my God.
no people can walk right basically into your house, but that's for the future.
So
Sorry.
true. And the beach, you. Oh God, what was I thinking? I think it was. Oh yeah, I think it's also very. I love that the beach is opening up to us right as Kimberly's coming in, because the significance of Kimberly and the beach.
They're introduced together. Yes,
Oh,
well done.
Cannot be overstated. I think.
Wow.
Oh! I know what I wanted to say.
Yeah. You just nailed it so hard with that. Tell us.
I don't remember if it's this. Did they lose the dog 3 times or just twice?
It was once in Melrose Place and once at the beach.
Okay, by the time they lost it at the beach, okay, first of all, I'll give it to Jane. Sandy just takes the leash off.
Yeah,
And the dog
that was
takes
not-
off. That's like out of her hands. But when she and Matt are walking along the beach, I was thinking, why are we once again without a leash on this dog? They've lost it again. Imagine if it had been eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been such a twist.
So- yet another branch of the Melrose televisual multiverse that we and the Maniacs may go through in the future.
Oh yeah, but nobody should have a baby because they can't even keep this dog from running away.
I mean, it tells you about their responsibility to the vulnerable. Really quick, for us, the extra of the week this time is an inanimate object. It's quite wonderful if you look at the scene around the 36-minute mark, if you're watching along with us. Right there in Billy and Allison's kitchen is a orange X that is Billy's mark for that scene of where he has to deliver his lines. And let's give Andrew Shue credit for
seeing it.
He hit that mark. He hit that mark, and that they stood out. Worst thing Alison did, we kind of like breezed through it, but using the word Mammaries for us was like a really, really not cool. The way she said it was gross.
It was terrible. Let me see what I think the worst thing she did. I mean, that was pretty terrible. Although I do kind of like the idea of her ruining breasts for Billy by calling them Mammaries. What was that?
Remember the thing she did through the door when Billy was talking through the door and she started stepping
Oh,
on
the
him?
worst thing I think Alison did was
that moment of reverie that's like out of context is so strange. Like she explains it later, but like, man,
I'll tell you what it is.
So weird. Tell us.
It's a weird choice for so many people. It's a weird choice from the director.
Mhm.
It's a weird choice on the part of the actress because she hadn't revealed yet what happened to her mom and that her mom had a double mastectomy. So I think that this moment is supposed to be like, I mean, because she does it. At first, you're like, "Is this supposed to be sensual? Are we supposed to be turned on?" But then she
while
has
listening
a sad
to Billy
face.
drone on about how he was a class clown.
He was apologizing. He's
Oh,
apologizing to her. She's slowly taking her top off and looking at her breasts with sadness. And then later on, she goes like this. She's just like, 3rd grade. She sits down on the beanbag. She says, the doctor says it's definitely cancer. I just feel like it was supposed to be her reliving that moment.
Dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Dangerous to
Bloody
consume
Mary,
a liquid while
bloody
you're doing
titty,
a bit
bloody
like this.
titty, bloody titty. If you day it 4 times in the mirror.
If it's okay for me to say, we may have more titty talk in the bonus ep. So that's
By the
pretty
way,
dope.
titty talk is what I do instead of TED Talks.
So
Let the titties do the talk.
we do quotations before we go.
Ah,
I think that's a
yes.
nice way to close this out. So we were thinking that the episode title might be "Thanks for the Mammaries," but you guys had a better one.
Did we? What did you? I did.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
I like thanks for the Mammaries.
Episode we can
Mommy's Mammaries.
Yes, I don't know. The quotations were a little. Chris, say
I'm
it.
trying to remember.
Okay. Maybe that'll be in the bonus episode, guys. There's another
Sassy
just pulling you
ginger.
right in. So do you want? I'll do Billy, and then
Please.
I actually want us to do the back and forth. We already talked about this,
Oh.
but I think it's a nice coda.
I like it.
So in all of this, Billy relates his version of the inciting incident in which he and Jake are doing all kinds of whoopsie funsies with Allison's bra. What? I was doing your wash. I was trying to be nice. So I happened to see your bra. Like, oh, that's exactly what happened. You fucking liar.
He's
such a liar.
He puts on his resume, expert bra lever loader. We know that's a lie. You're not even an amateur bra lever
What's the
loader.
most trumped up way he could turn that into a job somehow involving
Lingerie
laundry?
expert.
Laundry.
Oh, he could work
He'll
at
use-
the bra company where George Seinfeld worked.
No, Billy wants to find out if they'll let men be salespeople on the floor of Victoria's Secret. That's where this is leading.
Low key, Billy's George Costanza.
A little bit.
He is. He lies about every job.
All right, Jane and Michael. Do you want to be Jane or Michael?
Oh well, I want to be Michael.
Okay, great.
If given the chance.
All right, so again on the beach. Well, what about the hospital?
Well, thankfully, I was rescued, Dr. Shaw.
Dr. Shaw? Have I met him?
No, and actually, he's a she.
Should I be jealous?
Probably. Let's
This is
go
where
on,
we
honey.
arrived. Yes. And Al just leads her away. Beautifully done.
And he never slept with her again.
That was fun. Maybe we should do more of those in the
I would
quotations.
never
A little bit.
hesitate.
Okay. I don't mean
staged readings. I see it candlelit, smoky, like ambiance. I would totally do a staged reading of Melrose
we'll get
Place.
into that. Yes. Melrose Maniacs, thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you for just being and listening and interacting. Thanks. For Lisa, I bid you farewell and see you in the bonus.
Bye.
You're right. This is madness.